Hi, it's me, Dahlia, and today I wanted to give you an update on the market. I was out of the office last Monday and I didn't have an opportunity to do that. But today I wanted to just share with you pulse of the real estate market here in California. Overall, it's been pretty small number of homes. I've been looking at homes with clients all weekend, and I can tell you almost in every region, even from Northern California to Southern California, it's been a very limited number of homes. And since people have realized prices aren't really going to go down and rates aren't looking like they're going to go down, there is a few more buyers that are now out there. So that's what is actually happening on boots on the ground realization. Houses are getting offers in Los Angeles, about 10 to 15 offers per home, and in places like, let's say, Victorville, Hesperia, Hemet, um, Hesperia, and San Bernardino, we're seeing maybe 5 offers per home, but in some competitive homes at the same, up to 10 to 15 offers. So again, it's a seller's market. There are a few less price cuts, and the data is supporting that for most regions, less price cuts. So I expect that to be bottoming out. And a lot of people continue to ask me, when is the market going to shift? When are all house values going to devaluate? Um, Looking at those numbers, the number of people who are defaulting or behind on home payments as at a record low. So if any of you are expecting that at this moment, that's not happening. Another thing to consider is that institutional buying is at all-time high. Blackstone raised $30.4 million to purchase homes, and they're purchasing lots and lots of homes. So when people ask me, do you expect home prices to just devalue? I would say possibly if people like these Blackstone companies just lose all their assets. Let's say they go under and they start selling all these homes. That will greatly impact the value of homes. And if there's anything I learned the last 3 years of my life, is that you cannot predict the future. I never expected a pandemic in my lifetime, and it happened. I never expected that a pandemic would have such a strong impact and positive impact in the housing industry, but it did. So I cannot say, but I can tell you my personal opinion is that if we see any devaluation of homes, if price reductions or the price of homes being devalued, it's not going to come from individuals like you and me who are there living and paying their mortgage because they're doing well. And another thing to consider is that most people refinance during COVID. They have a very low monthly payment, they have equity in their home. Prices are not dropping, they're maybe slightly going up. So equity is being sustained. And most people that have a home are not going to let it go to rent. Because if they do, rents are just as high or even higher than what people have for their monthly payment. Which all we know in California, we're having an affordability crisis. So as prices rise, interest rates are also high, and nothing's really giving. So that is something that is impacting a lot of people. Like investors are pulling out. I read an article today that people who are flipping homes in California aren't really making money. So slowly, these type of investors are gonna maybe pull out. I also wanted to say, I wondered, that's just the overall market. I did want to talk today about something very important that needs to be addressed for people, and I wanted to talk about something that most of us don't want to talk about, which is death. I had an uncle that passed away recently, um, and I've seen people in my family pass away at different ages, and unfortunately, it's something we don't want to talk about, but eventually, it's gonna happen to all of us. And how does this relate to real estate? If any of you own a home, I strongly urge you to create a trust, especially if you're here in California, because if not, your house will go into probate. And I wanted to talk about a few reasons why you want to avoid probate. Number one, probate is a public record. So everything goes through the courts, included everything becomes a public matter. So everything like your bills, tax returns, all that information will become and available to others. Um, Also, the property records and any disagreements between the family will be literally out in the open. So I strongly suggest that you make a trust. So that's the number one reason. Number two, for privacy, number two is that it's really expensive to go to probate. It's determined, it costs a lot for all this court paperwork that you have to go through versus having a trust where things just go smoothly. And you know that has you don't waste money that could be allocated to the beneficiaries that you have and you want to take care of. And apart from that, probate can take a long time. The probating estate can vary state by state, and depending on the complexity that is in the accounts and the access to money, it could be very difficult at times for people to get into that. Like for example, me, I'm self-employed. If I don't have my husband or whoever's gonna be there set up and all these things, that it's just gonna become a nightmare for them. So I strongly suggest for you to do a living trust, and especially if you have two or more properties, if you have beneficiaries, please contact me. I could send you someone in your area, or you can, do your own research and find someone. Or if a lot of you have benefits through your employers, talk to your HR specialist and see if they can provide some estate planning for you as part of your benefits. Most people who work at large companies have that available to them. So again, today I wanted to spend a little bit of time with that. If any of you have had a family member that passed away, and I also have a handy worksheet for you of what to do, or if you have a person that is close to passing away, I have a handout that I can give to you that you can work through and just to prepare. I can tell you that losing someone is already emotionally draining, but then having to be responsible for bills, maintenance of a home, funeral arrangements, on top of all this is extremely overwhelming. And having a trust will just make it easier for your loved ones to handle all that. I know it's not a fun topic, but it also would leave the people who you love in a better position so they could really be there to mourn and experience the grief of losing you versus just being overwhelmed with all of these legal matters and all this stuff. So if you can talk to your HR person and see if that's available as a benefit for you. If not, I'm here for you, of course, and I'll help you and lead you to someone that could assist you. I hope you have all a wonderful week, and it's always so wonderful to see you all, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.